In the kaleidoscopic world of Hong Kong's entertainment industry in the 1990s, few figures evoke as complex and conflicted a memory as Pauline Chan Bo-Lin. Both celebrated and vilified, Chan's brief yet turbulent career made her a household name, not just for her filmography, but for the controversies that clung to her personal life until her tragic death at the age of 29. To understand Pauline Chan is to situate her within the broader historical, social, and cultural forces of Hong Kong's film industry during its golden yet shifting era. The 1980s and 1990s were periods of explosive cinematic output, a time when Hong Kong's so-called Category 3 films gained both notoriety and vast commercial success. This genre blurred lines between art and exploitation and became a space where women like Pauline Chan could simultaneously gain stardom and become scapegoats for societal anxieties about morality, modernity, and the clash between traditional Chinese values and westernized liberalism. Her story also intersects with deeper questions. How does an industry built on illusions handle the reality of mental health? How does a conservative society process its obsession with eroticism? How did Pauline's personal battles mirror wider crises faced by young women caught between fame, scandal, and patriarchal double standards? This video argues that Pauline Chan Bo-Lin's career and life exemplified the contradictory forces of fame, sexualization, and societal hypocrisy in late 20th century Hong Kong and Greater China. By examining her films, public image, scandals, and ultimate tragedy, we can uncover broader truths about gender, media exploitation, and the cultural shifts that defined a generation. To understand Pauline Chan's meteoric rise, we must first explore the unique conditions that produced her stardom, namely Hong Kong's Category 3 film boom of the late 1980s and early 1990s. Pauline Chan entered the entertainment world as a young woman with a striking combination of innocence and allure, qualities that made her an ideal figure for producers eager to capitalize on the rising demand for erotic thrillers and softcore films. The Category 3 rating, introduced in 1988, did not just mark films as erotic only. It quickly became a marketing badge of provocative content, promising audiences taboo-breaking plots and explicit scenes. Chan's breakthrough came with roles in films such as Raped by an Angel, 1993, and Gigolo and Whore 2, 1992. These films were lurid by design, often featuring storylines that oscillated between moralistic cautionary tales and blatant titillation. Chan's performances combined vulnerability with raw sensuality, capturing the public imagination and catapulting her to infamy as much as fame. While critics derided these films as lowbrow or exploitative, they reflected a society in transition, a Hong Kong grappling with pre-handover anxieties, where the economic boom was paired with moral conservatism and repressed desires. In this climate, stars like Chan became lightning rods for social debates on decency, modernity, and the boundaries of public sexuality. The box office success of such films ensured that actresses like her would continue to be cast in similar roles, even as they paid a steep price in terms of public scrutiny and stigmatization. Yet, Chan's early work also demonstrated flashes of talent beyond the confines of softcore cinema. Observers noted her expressive eyes and unguarded emotional delivery, qualities that might have flourished in mainstream dramatic roles had the industry been more willing to allow her to transition away from her Category 3 image. However, for an actress typecast so early, the exit doors were rarely left open. If Pauline Chan's rise to fame was swift,
Her descent into scandal and personal crisis was even more relentless, driven not just by her choices, but by a tabloid culture hungry for scandal at any cost. Throughout the 1990s, Hong Kong and Taiwan's media landscape grew increasingly aggressive, with paparazzi and gossip magazines devouring every detail of celebrity life. Pauline Chan's private struggles became public fodder. Rumors of affairs, volatile relationships with powerful men, and public outbursts fed the narrative that she was a reckless, fallen woman. Sensationalist coverage often omitted context or empathy, framing her as unstable and morally suspect. One of the most infamous episodes involved her tumultuous relationship with Long Kok Hung, a wealthy businessman. The relationship ended badly, punctuated by allegations of infidelity, substance abuse, and bizarre public incidents that tabloid photographers captured gleefully. Chan's erratic behavior, including multiple suicide attempts, was documented with voyeuristic glee. Instead of prompting concern or sympathy, these incidents were used to reinforce the lurid spectacle surrounding her. Behind the headlines, however, Chan's life was marked by profound isolation and unaddressed mental health struggles. Accounts from friends and former colleagues suggest that she suffered from depression and felt deeply trapped by her public image. Yet, the entertainment industry and media ecosystem offered little in the way of support. Instead, they recycled her trauma for profit, constructing a cautionary tale of a bad girl who had flown too close to the sun. This is perhaps the most haunting aspect of Pauline Chan's story, that her real suffering was rendered invisible beneath layers of scandal and moralistic gossip. Her tragic death on July 31, 2002, ruled a suicide after she fell from her apartment building in Shanghai, was reported with the same prurient sensationalism that had dogged her life. In death as in life, her pain was a commodity. While it is tempting to read Pauline Chan's life as purely a tragedy of exploitation, doing so risks overlooking her agency and the broader significance of her cultural legacy. Some critics and cultural commentators have argued that to view Chan only as a victim is to strip her of the limited but real choices she made within an industry that offered women like her few options. Despite the exploitative nature of Category 3 films, they did provide a space, however problematic, where actresses could earn substantial money and visibility at a time when mainstream cinema offered few leading roles for women outside narrow stereotypes. Moreover, Chan's enduring presence in popular culture speaks to more than just prurient nostalgia. In recent years, retrospective screenings, critical essays, and online fan communities have revisited her work with fresh eyes. Younger generations, especially women, have begun to see her as a symbol of how the entertainment machine devours the very people it makes famous. Some have even reinterpreted her boldness in embracing taboo roles as an act of subversive defiance in a rigidly moralistic society.
This reframing does not absolve the industry or media of their exploitative roles, nor does it erase the damage done. But it does open a more nuanced conversation about the agency women exert within oppressive structures, about the cost of visibility, and about the uncomfortable complicity of audiences in sustaining the cycle of scandal and consumption. Pauline Chan's story remains unfinished in this sense, a site of cultural reckoning and debate. Pauline Chan Bo-Lin's brief yet impactful career serves as a prism through which we can examine the contradictions of Hong Kong's entertainment industry and broader Chinese cultural attitudes toward sexuality, mental health, and celebrity. Her rise through Category 3 cinema reflected a society both titillated and scandalized by the sexual liberation it outwardly condemned. Her personal struggles revealed a media culture eager to exploit the spectacle of a fallen star while ignoring the deeper crises that shaped her behavior. As this video has argued, Pauline Chan's story is far more than the sum of salacious headlines. It reveals the tangled forces of fame, gendered exploitation, and moral hypocrisy that defined an era of Hong Kong cinema. It also challenges us to reconsider how we remember figures like Chan, not simply as cautionary tales, but as complex individuals caught in systems far larger than themselves. In the decades since her death, Hong Kong's film industry has evolved, but the fundamental questions Pauline Chan's life raises remain disturbingly relevant. How do we protect vulnerable people in an industry that thrives on their vulnerability? How can we as audiences resist the easy consumption of scandal and tragedy? And how might we honor the memory of icons like Chan, not by whitewashing their lives, but by confronting the uncomfortable truths they reveal about us all? If her story is to have any enduring lesson, it is perhaps this: that behind the glamour and scandal of celebrity lies a reality more fragile and human than we care to admit, and that true respect for the dead begins with the courage to see them whole. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be notified when we upload new videos. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.